Hey guys, Czar here. Hope all is well and trust you're having a good morning so far. Happy Tuesday to you. Tuesday, July 30th. It is 9:29. We are 1 minute away from the open of New York here. This is the NASDAQ power grid, of course. Let me take you over to the Three Sisters. We'll take a look at the pre-market, kind of going sideways here, coming into the pre. If you go back a little further, we had a nice rally through Asia and into the UK here. But more or less flat coming in above VWAP on the NASDAQ and S&P and basically on VWAP for the Dow. Let's take a look at the daily charts here to start, guys. You'll see we have inside days here on the NASDAQ and on the S&P and on the Dow, meaning that today's high so far is lower than yesterday's high. And the low, it's not really an inside day. Actually, on the NASDAQ, you can see that we did break yesterday's low marginally, but we are back inside of yesterday's range. Something very similar here, or almost the same on the S&P, and a legitimate inside day here on the Dow, as you can see, the low and high being inside of yesterday's low and high. All right, just want to make sure I was explaining that accurately. And now back to the Three Sisters. You can see that we have in fact opened. There's the first 1 minute candle just forming as we speak. You can see the top and the bottom there. That's my indicator showing the 1 minute open range, which will be set for the entire New York session in about 25 seconds or so. So watch that play out. As always, I'll be cutting out dead air, sideways grinding action, non-teaching moments, things of that nature to keep this video nice and tight. I'm going to be patient here on the open and not just jump in because we're seeing a flurry of activity, which we typically, if not always, see here on the open as this massive North American market opens, and many global players as well, of course, join the futures game and the index game here as well. Notice that we have a bullish candle on the 1 minute for the Dow. We have a bearish candle for the 1 minute on the NASDAQ, and something in between as usual on the S&P, a muted version of the difference between these two. It's not always the case, but it's often the case. So I'll put you on pause here, guys. We'll watch to see how this thing plays out, and I will bring you back. You can see here that on the 30-minute, we've been kind of grinding up, as I mentioned, through Asia and through the London session, and then kind of getting close here to this very important, fairly key zone from yesterday where we rejected once, twice, 3 times in a row, and then drove down fairly strongly from there during the New York session, and then again after the New York session during the crossover on earnings. I'm assuming on earnings after hours. But now finding a little bit of support here. Let's see if we can drive up into that range here. I'm very much watching the daily here, guys. If I feel that this is continuing some bullish momentum, having failed to continue down, breaking yesterday's low, then I will certainly be considering longs here. Let's go back to the Three Sisters, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, watching closely, but not doing anything. I'm really gonna wait to see if we can get some breakout here, either to the top or the bottom, and then find some kind of a retest potentially. And that's where I'll likely decide whether I want to enter or not, but nothing for now. I'm not going to jump on this. All right, guys, watching here. Buy stop order, guys. Buy stop order right here. Looking for 1 hour. I'll fix that marker here in a moment. Patience now. And I'm in, guys. Long the NASDAQ, and now the patience game. I'll explain more about this in a moment. Three Sisters pushing up on the NASDAQ and the S&P and on the Dow. We have alignment now amongst the three. This is synchronicity. This is usually supportive of tossing the coin. We'll see. And the Three Sisters continue to be reasonably aligned here, guys, above positive moving averages, above open range, above VWAP on all three. Permissive daily charts with the inside days and bullish bodies now on all three. By the way, most trades have units of doubt in them as well, meaning that not everything's perfect. What's not perfect about this is this fairly extended move going into the open here on New York and moving into this fairly significant resistance zone. But it feels like to me, given that we've had a 10% pullback on the daily inside of a rampaging bull market, and this resumption behavior here of the daily chart, in other words, a failure to make a new low here on Friday of last week, then yesterday was a cascading up day, today failed to continue down after breaking the low, and then a bullish body here on the open, I'm willing to toss the coin on trying to get beyond here. Now, it looks like we're failing, of course, right at that zone, and that is the unit of doubt playing its way through here. But I'm looking for an opportunity to move my stop to break even if we get up there high enough. It doesn't look like we're going to. And so in this case, I might have to take a charge on this one, and that's okay. It's all part of the game. And there it is, guys. So that's a 1-hour charge today to start the Tuesday. I might come back and look for a short opportunity in here, given what I'm seeing now in this fairly significant shift in momentum and sentiment. So this is looking pretty interesting to me, as a matter of fact. Thanks for being here. We'll talk soon. Have a good one.